All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Please rise to the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank the board members that were able to attend this evening for this special board meeting. Under Board of Education, we have new business, the insurance waiver rider agreement. Be resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the insurance waiver rider agreement for the cooperative bid contract with Fire Security and Sound, Inc. In the form attached, that the president will be authorized to execute such insurance waiver rider agreement amendment. Can I have a motion? Motion by Heather, second by Tom. Any comments, concerns?
I think the only question I have is, so this is that work's being awarded to that company?
What transpired? This has been going on for several months. I normally get a DocuSign from CSR, which is our architect, for all contracts. And immediately when I get it, I ask Joel, is insurance and bonds in place and they're all approved and everything? And he'll come back and say yes or no. And with FS&S, it's been going on for months now. I mean, actually DocuSign expired last week, so we didn't sign it yet. This supposedly, and maybe Scott and Pete could interject, being it's on state contract through OGS, they're allowed this waiver because NYSER has implemented new regulations as of January 1 for all contractors working in school district work. I guess they couldn't meet some of those requirements, but this waiver has come forth. The unfortunate thing is, and this is going to go out to Scott and Palumbo Group, that we can't be put on notice at the 11th hour, which we were yesterday morning at 10:26. I got a text from Joel saying that we have to have a special meeting because if we don't approve this and this work's not going to happen this summer. That can't happen. That can't happen. We've had many support service meetings and we've asked about the insurance requirements from FS&S, and everybody kept saying we're working on it. They still need another piece. They need another piece. I don't know when this waiver just happened to jump out of the clear blue sky when it could have happened months ago. I mean, do you have an answer to that, Scott?
It was sent to NYSER the end of May.
Waiver.
For signatures, yes.
This waiver that I'm seeing here doesn't have any signatures from NYSER. It has a signature from Lindsay Jones, the comptroller for FS&S.
Right. NYSER doesn't sign that. The school district does.
Correct.
NYSER approved it.
Right.
NYSER approved it. What the complication was is that the state contract we did for the bleachers, the state contract we did for the lockers.
The lift and the lockers.
The lifts and the lockers.
They were prior to that deadline.
They were prior to that deadline, which
Right.
added the confusion to it. So what happens is the state bid contract is the vendor has a contract with the state. And we piggyback off of that. So the rules and regulations that apply to that contractor that's in the OGS thing has a contract with the state which has acceptable insurance and all that kind of stuff. Trying to make this meet the NYSER requirements was what complicated it because they're not apparently required to, because the contract's not with the school district, the contract's with the state of New York.
Understood, but at our support service meeting on Monday, the question came up again. And I know Sam was sitting there, and Sam's done all the correspondence with NYSER, and it was mentioned that there was only a couple emails, but Sam kind of shook her head and said there's probably a half a dozen emails. But we weren't told at that support service meeting that this waiver was in the hands of NYSER, like Scott just said, at the end of May. Our meeting was just this past Monday.
We said in the meeting, we were waiting on two things. There were some endorsement clarifications and the waiver.
I don't recall hearing.
Well, listen, I didn't mean to get into the weeds, so to speak, but I understand the concern you're raising, and I think everybody in the room does.
Right.
The important thing is we can move forward with the work. The company is on state contract. I just wanted to know what the special insurance waiver was for, and that was clearly explained today. So I appreciate that.
Right.
There is a motion on.
But my point being that we can't act at the 11th hour. If this meeting didn't happen tonight, what we were told, none of this work would happen this summer.
And I have goosebumps just hearing it. I do. But that's what special meetings are all about. Not letting anybody off the hook, but that's what special meetings are all about.
So, anybody else have any concerns with it? We have a motion by Heather, second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. So with that being said, we'll go on to our change order because we don't currently have a contract with FS&S. So we're approving these things without a formal contract with them, which is a no-no. Okay, Highland Middle School.
But you have a scope of
Say that
work.
again? We don't have a formal contract?
We don't have a signed contract with FS&S yet.
Oh, that's
But you
what you were
will as a
saying
result
in
of
the-
this approval.
In the
It
document
will
sign,
happen
you
after
gotta
this
sign
gets
it.
Yes,
approved.
and the pricing
Understood.
is all OGS
Right, understood.
or below.
Okay, Highland Middle School abatement change order. Be it resolved, the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, hereby authorizes a change order not to exceed $62,021.06 for Fire Security and Sound, Inc., the middle school fire alarm vendor for Phase 2 of the 2022 capital improvement project. The change order shall be authorized to provide the abatement of hazardous wall materials at fire alarm conduit penetrations of Highland Middle School. This change was requested as a result of additional hazardous materials being discovered during construction along the outer of the new fire alarm system installation. The credit change order shall be executed upon delivery of all required backup from the middle school fire alarm vendor. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Tom. Questions, concerned? I just don't understand the last sentence. The credit change order shall be executed upon delivery. There's a credit change order coming?
I don't understand that.
It was sent to me to put into this.
That's, sometimes these spell out all the contingencies. So should a credit change order come, that has to be, the timing of it.
Shall as opposed to will. We gotta strike that sentence.
I would strike it initially.
Yeah. Sounds like it's in favor of the vendor, quite frankly, right? Like
Would you agree?
Yes, there's no,
Strike it.
yeah, this is all additional scope.
What you cut and paste.
This credit change order shall be executed upon delivery of all required backup from the middle school fire alarm vendor from CS Arch. It's exactly the.
I don't want to strike it if we don't know why we're striking it, except it sounds like,
We'll strike it, but
Can we
you
pause and get Dion on the phone?
yeah, that would be a wise idea. If there is a way to reach out to an individual for some clarification, that's perfectly
Are you
acceptable.
doing that, Pete?
yeah.
It's 5:15 on a rainy Friday, so the chances are good, Heather. Let's see.
The last line.
Feeling
Baseball
pretty-
is canceled.
I'm feeling, and if golf, it's all right now. Bring your scuba gear.
Soccer's indoors.
Because there's more rain on the way, I think. I don't think that was it.
No, it's on and off full.
Good, so I don't have to water the grass tonight, Tom. I'm
Or-
gonna try to save a
Or
blade
put
of
water in the
grass.
pool.
Yeah, it has been evaporating quickly.
ran into your son at the cool store.
Oh,
I
sure.
love when he's in there.
Tasso,
There was a copy paste
he
from
was
his,
there.
for what he sent you on Wednesday with all the recommendations,
and-
even though we were only doing some today.
Correct.
There was a copy paste from the first one,
And that includes this verbiage?
verbatim.
Yeah.
So all he was drafting his email and he just didn't.
Yeah, there are reasons, but I hear you.
Well, while we're going, just Scott, we have two other abatement contractors on board. We have Jupiter and we have United. Correct?
Jupiter is a subcontractor to Ferrari,
Right.
right? And United has no work at the middle school.
Okay. Were they contacted to give FS&S a price on this work, or we just went with one vendor?
I'd have to reach out. I think it was just one vendor.
Yeah, on the work that was down there with multiple vendors, I know that there was conversations back and forth with other, like, Serpro and whatever, with who they were gonna
So
get prices from that they worked out on. So I think there was probably some conversations on pricing.
So Jupiter was made aware that they could price that out too, and maybe their
I'm
price
pretty
is
sure there was a
cheaper.
conversation on it, wasn't there not?
with through Ferrari.
I don't know if it was through Ferrari. I know when they had,
because FS&S could have reached out to Jupiter.
yeah.
So just because we have a few minutes here, I'm reading the resolution.
Good.
And
Question about this, I'm in the middle of a board meeting and, this change order for the middle school abatement, the last line says. Right. The sentence cannot be struck, but the word credit comes out. Okay, Joe, thank you. So Lisa, do you get that?
Yes. That will be reflected in the minutes.
So, just let me be clear, we're approving a change order, but it only can be executed upon delivery of all required backup from the middle school fire alarm. What backup are we getting from that?
I don't know that we need any additional backup. If we're going to protect the school, I got a couple calls into OGS just to verify all their OHP line items, right? But they're not to exceed the way that it's written. So if anything, it could come down.
price is the
So
price.
we're approving,
Price is the price.
according to this language, we're approving this change order, but if that required backup is not here, then it shall not be executed.
We have all the backup.
Backup is paperwork in this case?
It's pricing, it's unit
Right.
cost, it's labor rates, it's amount.
So you have all that?
Yeah, we have all that. Yeah.
Was that what was submitted as the
That's-
backup that's in the
That's what I
agenda?
showed you.
Is that what we included in the
Yes.
agenda?
It should be like 12
Alan
pages.
Yeah,
Did
there's
it
quite a
take
bit
a
in,
folder?
there's
12
quite a bit
pages.
in the agenda, so that's the backup.
That's the backup,
Okay.
yes.
It's in his folder.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Sounds good.
Any other questions? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Any other questions, concerns? All right.
No, just, yeah, thank you. everybody.
Motion to adjourn. Motion made by Heather, second by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys.